What is going on, everybody? This is another episode of the Legion of Raw. Yeah, baby.
Baby. Here we
Vince
are,
Russo.
man.
I'm Dr. Chris, ladies and gentlemen, and we are here live and going to have some fun, man. You ready, Vince?
I am ready, bro. I am ready.
Awesome, man. So, Money in the Bank is this coming Saturday, which is my birthday, by the way.
Happy early birthday to you, Dr. Chris.
I appreciate it.
That's awesome.
So I'm not going to watch it because I'll be doing other things on my birthday that's much more enjoyable than watching Money in the Bank. Absolutely. So, but I'll catch it before Monday, most likely. Probably Sunday or someday. I don't know. So this is the go home show before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. And just overall thoughts, Vince. Are you excited for this go home show? Was it good enough to make you buy?
Bro.
If you didn't have Peacock, would it be good enough for you to get
Bro,
a subscription for Peacock?
I gotta tell you something about Peacock. Let me tell you a little something about Peacock, because obviously, bro, we need other things to talk about on this show than what we just watched.
Yes.
Bro, I swear to God, every 2 weeks on russosbrand.com, I break down the Attitude Era hour by hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Bro, the editing that they've done with older Attitude Era episodes, it's horrible. It really is horrible, bro. It's got to be WWE editing them down and then sending them to Peacock. And I guarantee you nobody at Peacock is looking at these because the editing is awful, bro. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching it and I'm just like, man, if people paid money for this, you would just think you would get better quality, better editing, but it's horrible, bro. Yeah. It is horrible. Bro, they did a thing today. And maybe somebody in our audience can tell us about it. Bro, remember during the Attitude Era when The Rock stole the Intercontinental belt from Austin? Remember that sequence?
I do.
Well, bro, I watched an episode today where Rock's in the ring with the Intercontinental belt and he's wrestling Vader. Mm-hmm. Okay? Austin drives his pickup truck into the arena. Now, the original show, Austin was blasting music in his truck. Mm-hmm. And obviously for that show, they paid a licensing fee. So when you watch this show, they're putting in generic music that's playing on Austin's truck. And it's hard, like, bro, it's the worst music imaginable. And I'm watching this and I'm saying, bro, people don't know that they're editing in different music. And the music they were using was killing Austin. Like, it was just killing, the entire character, the edge, what I mean?
Yep.
And I'm like, my gosh, bro, who is doing this? I would love to see if somebody in our audience knows what song was originally playing, bro, because I'm guessing it was, AC/DC or something like that. But I understand, bro, they got to cut it out. But to replace it with something generic that is horrible, it killed the entire show, bro.
Yeah. And that's out of all the choices. I mean, I'm sure you could have made a better choice than what they did.
Brutal.
Looks like Leslie was at the show. Leslie, were there any dark matches at the show? Were there any dark matches? All right, so here's a question before we get into this Raw, because I'm much more interested in the questions that I ask. Vince, if you ever have a question,
throw it
all
out.
All right, we got Awesome Sauce with the $2 super chat, bro. Before I ask the question, oh, man. Russo, your WCW theme is also
which is crazy because I got it right here. And I play it every single day, bro. every single day. But I don't know, bro. Listen, I understand they have to edit, but what they're replacing it with is so bad, bro. So bad. But anyway,
yeah, sadly.
What's the question, bro? What do you got for us, Chris?
Before that, a bunch of people wishing me happy birthday. Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Give y'all some
yes.
shout outs, matter of fact. Yeah, I'm gonna give y'all some shout outs. Y'all spent the time to wish me happy birthday, so I'm gonna put you over. Awesome Sauce, Chris, Sejo, Leslie, Victor. Mike's birthday's today. Happy birthday, Mike.
Happy birthday, Mike.
Yeah, there's a bunch. Rose, Michael, Rock, Keontae. Thank y'all. Christopher. Thank y'all. Appreciate it. Yuri, Rishan. Very nice, guys. Manny. Thank y'all. All right. So the question is, Richard, thank you. The question of the day is, who is the most underrated WWE champion in history? Who is the most underrated, in your opinion, the most underrated WWE champion in history? And as y'all think about that, shout out to DJ, Kuzmo, Paul, Rob, Chloe, Reese, Steven. Thanks, guys.
Bro, define underrated.
Someone who didn't really get as much shine as champion as he should have.
Interesting.
Think?
I want to see what the people have to say about that.
What do y'all think?
Now, could it be any championship, or it's got to be the big one?
World champ.
World champ?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Awesome Sauce says Savage. People just think of Hogan, but he was awesome. I think that's a good point, actually. Savage had the belt for a year, but he was kind of overshadowed. He was overshadowed by, first of all, Hogan at WrestleMania 4 being involved to help Savage become champion. And then, he has some good matches, but starting from the Royal Rumble, it started the whole Elizabeth, he brings Elizabeth to the backstage and makes the heel turn. So it was kind of overshadowed by Hogan, a big chunk of that. So
yeah,
that's actually a good point. Finn Balor, Diesel. Christopher said Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, he ended up winning at WrestleMania, but I think that may be a good one. Kane, Kevin Owens, Warrior, RVD, Big E, Balor, Punk, really? A lot of gender. What do you think about gender?
Wow, bro, the three that come to mind, man, for me are Jinder. Big E was a good one.
Agreed.
And Drew.
Yeah.
Those three come to mind immediately to me.
Yeah. Yokozuna, Andy says. What do you think about my Yokozuna?
I don't think he was underrated.
I don't think so either. Sid. What do you think? God, Sid was in your day.
I don't even remember Sid as the champion, man. I don't even remember that. So I guess he was underrated.
Well, there you go. Backlund was champ for 4 years.
Yeah, he was champ forever. Yeah. They may be talking about the second run when he had it for like a cup of coffee before.
Oh, like 94. Yeah, the heel one. Yeah. Okay. Perhaps the heel one, but the babyface one, he had it for several years.
Yeah.
Slaughter. Yeah, Slaughter was a little. He was overshadowed. I think. Yeah. Let's see. DJ Eric with the $5 super chat, bro. Vince, love the video you did for Oliver Gunner, Agent Alexander, and Ben cheering for Grindhouse Pro Wrestling.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, DJ Eric. Thank you.
Very nice. Lots of wonderful involvement from the PNP Nation here. Very nice. 96, 97 is I guess when Sid was champ around that time.
God, I don't even remember that.
You were there. You was still in the magazine at that time, weren't you?
I mean, I was, starting to get my foot into TV, but doing both. Yeah.
Very nice. Well, speaking of TV, let's get down to the nitty gritty, ladies and gentlemen. We have Riddle winning the Last Chance. Well, starts off with Cena doing his deal. People, and backstage, he shaking some people's hands, and like their boys and like their homies, and then the other people just formally shaking their hands. Hustle, loyalty, respect. So clearly, this show was revolved around John Cena being the man, Vince.
Yeah, I'm really curious, Chris. I'm really curious to see if this show pops a number. I really am, because I think that's what they were intending to do. Chris, also, something I want to ask you. Was the Cena appearance on this show, did we know about this? And was this prior to those allegations coming down to Vince? In other words, did they plan this after that, or was this already planned?
It was before.
It was before. Okay.
Yeah, they announced it a couple of weeks ago.
I'm very, very surprised, bro. I was very surprised that Vince didn't introduce him to get the Cena rub. I was very surprised.
He did. Vince introduced him
in the in-ring.
Mm-hmm.
He was out there?
Yeah, he introduced.
Oh my God, bro! I must have fast forwarded.
Yeah.
I must have fast forwarded. So he did, but did he say anything or just put him over?
He just put him over.
Wow,
Cena.
Yeah, I didn't even see that part. I did not even see that.
He said a couple of things. It was very short though.
Yeah.
Very, very short. So, yep. Well, he put himself over last week when he announced the John Cena.
Bro, that's real interesting, man. Because if I'm John Cena, where I am right now, sitting on top of Hollywood, sitting on top of the world, man, honestly, bro, I don't know if I want Vince introducing me at this point. You know what I mean, bro? Yeah, I'm very thankful for what he did and everything like that, but I don't know, man.
I agree. Yeah. Like, okay, maybe Stephanie. I mean, because Stephanie, it would have made more sense if Stephanie would have introduced him, because if it wasn't for Stephanie, Cena would have been fired. It's funny because I talked about this on Pancakes and Power Slams, my show last Tuesday night. Saying people are comparing Cena with Theory, and I'm like, yeah, no one. I mean, or Theory with Cena, and I'm like, I mean, Theory being compared to 2002 Cena is not very. It's not really a compliment, because he almost got fired. Actually, I mean, if it wasn't for Stephanie hearing him do a random freestyle rap backstage and him turning into Thugonomics, he legit would have been fired. So like the cookie cutter white meat baby face, John Cena, ruthless aggression, starting kind of got over by having a close call with Kurt Angle, and then Taker gives him the rub. They really tried to, so it's clear that Vince saw something in Cena that wanted to push him in the moon to the moon, similar to Theory. I mean, they have a really good comparison there, but the type of bland, type of Cena, he didn't get very far, and he almost got fired. So,
bro, you want to hear something interesting? And I've never told this story before, and I've told every story a million times before. I've never told this one before, Chris. But when I was consulting for the WWE for a cup of coffee in 2002, okay, Cena had just come on the scene. And I remember I pitched something for Cena where he kind of stood up to Mr. McMahon. And, it would have kind of been like an eye-opening moment, and it kind of would have put Cena on the map, because he wasn't really doing anything up to that point. And, the old, he's not ready, and this, that, and the other thing, bull crap. And, they never did it. But I remember early on, bro, before any of this, like the first time I saw him, I'm like, bro, make him do something that's really special and going to make him pop out. But and then after that, I started working for TNA, so I don't really know what the evolution of Cena was after that. But I remember, bro, the first time I saw him, I'm like, you guys got to do something. with this guy. And I thought kind of challenging Vince would have been a step in the right direction,
He had a lot of charisma when he was in OVW with Bolin, actually. And he was the prototype, and he had a really good promo, and he was really charismatic because he was with Rico Constantino. And so he had a lot of charisma that he really didn't get to show in the very beginning, as far as, because he was a heel in OVW, but he came out as a babyface, in WWE, the main roster. So he really didn't get a chance to show that a lot. And so I think because he was so restrained and had to play the babyface type of character, he ended up turning heel. I think it was against Kidman, if I'm not mistaken. The matching shorts with the boot type of Cena, he was heel, he was trying, but it really didn't work. So he definitely had a shelf life. So I mean, I think, what do you think of Theory, Vince? I mean,
bro, I don't see nothing in this guy. I don't. I mean, I'm just telling that is me. That is just me, bro. It just feels very forced.
Yeah.
There's nothing special about him. There's nothing that sticks out. That is me. That is my opinion and my assessment. And bro, a lot of that could have to do with the way they're using him. But I just comparing him to Cena, I mean, come on, bro, stop. Like that at this point, that is absolutely ridiculous, bro.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, they do look a lot alike, initial Cena. Have you seen the pictures that Sportskeeda does the best graphics? I mean, they're fantastic. They had a graphic. I don't have time to try to sift through it, try to find it. But they had a picture of and WWE already had the picture. There were some people that were dressing like Cena. I think Carmella dressed like him, and a couple other people. And then Theory did the chain with the jorts and looked just like him. It was crazy. So yeah. So let's go to the next one. But we had backstage segment, Street Profits and John Cena. So similar. So basically, they were trying to just interweave Cena all throughout the show is basically what this was.
Yeah, I mean, everybody was getting the Cena rub.
Yeah.
I mean, that's smart. I would do the same thing. You've got him there for a night. Give everybody the Cena rub, and that's what they tried to do. So I don't have a problem with them doing that whatsoever. But, bro, 90% of this roster, you're not going to get them over because they got a Cena rub.
Exactly.
A lot more than that. But that's what they were attempting to do. And I can't say I blame them for that, bro.
I agree with that. The only thing is that nobody, like, the rub is just going to smear right off. You know what I mean? It just doesn't matter because everybody's booked so 50-50.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, the Street Profits is getting a Cena rub, and they're probably going to lose this coming Saturday. So what does it even mean?
Bro, you know what it is? Like, especially when you talk about Austin Theory, bro, to me, I watch this show and nothing's natural. You know what I mean? I don't see any characters that are natural. Like, everything seems like such a put on and an act. I don't see the performance. Bro, like when you talk about an Austin Theory, I think about a guy like a Kurt Hennig. Like, that wasn't a put on. Like, I mean, that, I just feel that everybody is just this Lego put together type stereotypical character.
Yeah.
And I don't buy into any of it. And I'm talking about from Riddle to Becky Lynch to Bianca Belair. There's nobody who's just themselves, bro. That's just.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, I think of shelf life. I think of, can your character expand? Are there layers to your character? That's the biggest thing that I think of when it comes to characters.
Yep.
Either are there layers in your characters, or is the story evolving enough for your character to continue to, have layers created to it. You know what I mean? Like The Undertaker. There are so many good stories within The Undertaker's career that by proxy or just naturally or organically, his character created layers to it. It's the same thing with Sting, and it's like, I think of so many of these wrestlers, most of them, they don't have suitable storylines to create organic parts of their character. It's just the same Cody and Seth matches. It's the same Street Profits and Usos matches. It's the same Bianca Belair and Becky Lynch or Asuka matches. It's the same matches. How is that creating layers to the character if it's the same thing?
Yeah, bro, layers to the character are not created in the ring.
Correct.
That's not where they're created.
Correct.
And with this show, when everything is in the ring, you're never going to get those layers, bro. I don't know if it's laziness. I don't know if they forgot the formula and just don't know how to do it. I don't know what it is. You're not going to make these characters during wrestling matches,
no. Especially if it's the same ones. That's the thing. If it's the same different types of iterations of the same wrestling match, it just doesn't create layers that way. I am happy that Montez Ford beat Jey Uso. Again, it's the same type of stuff. Now they're saying get an advantage stipulation or whatever it is, but it's still the same type of match. The only thing that I do like about this, matter of fact, I think Rollin had let's give Rollin some love. 199 super chat. Andre and Taker's first title runs were lackluster. Well, Andre had to give it right back. Had to give it to DiBiase. So his title run is considered a legitimate title run. Now, a lot of people don't know that, but he is a legitimate WWE champion. DiBiase's title when he took it from Andre, that's not considered a legitimate title reign, but Andre's is considered a title reign, so that's cool. He was former world champion. Taker's, though, I agree. Taker's was the I think he beat Hogan, right?
Wasn't that the Tuesday in Texas?
Yeah, this Tuesday in Texas. Yeah, right. I think Flair slid the chair in. He came in, slid the chair in, and then Taker tombstone Hogan on the chair. And it was he didn't touch the chair whatsoever. It was a bad camera shot, but he did. They did play on it. And he won it. I think it was less than a year after he debuted. So
bro, it's so funny because listen, man, I can tell you firsthand. Sometimes in wrestling, you gotta give the people what they want.
Yep.
And you had this show open with a battle royal, and it ended with a battle royal, and both winners could not be any more freaking obvious. But and with Riddle, okay, it's what the people wanted. You give the people what they wanted, and then Becky Lynch at the end, they were just so predictable. The reason why I bring this up, bro, is you just brought up that Tuesday in Texas. And, bro, I guarantee you there's a lot of people watching this show that haven't a clue of what we're talking about. Yeah. But I could sit here and tell you, I remember that. Mm-hmm. And it was such a big deal. And you talk about unpredictable, bro. Oh, yeah. When Hogan lost, it was so unpredictable. Then we're going to have a pay-per-view 2 days later. That's what I'm talking about, bro. Bro, what year was that, Chris?
Ooh, that was 91, because Taker debuted in SummerSlam of 90, and he won it in 90. He won the title in 90.
Bro, 31 years ago. And I can recall that because of the unpredictability of it. And here you've got 30 minutes at the top of the show, whatever it was, 15 minutes at the bottom. And just so predictable, bro.
Yep. This Tuesday in Texas was December 3rd, 91.
Yep. Yeah. And I remember it. It was huge. Huge.
It was, so about a little over a year after Taker debuted. Yeah. Alex with the 499 super chat, bro. Why do you think fan signs have died down? Every fan at a sign in the Attitude Era, and it made the show better. Now barely anyone brings them. Go ahead, Vince.
I would like to see why Alex thinks. Alex, why do you think?
Yeah,
because Chris, I'll be honest. I don't know. I honestly, bro, I was there. It was ridiculous. I was there. Yep. I don't know. I would love to see what Alex's opinion of that is.
Yeah. I think that I like that.
Yeah. What's your view, Chris?
Well, I think that there still are signs because I've been to a bunch of live events, and there's actually 3 live events that's came to Columbus this year. There was a Raw earlier this year. SmackDown came just about a month or so ago, and I believe it's on the schedule for us to get the Christmas Raw. So I'll be there, and so there's still signs because in between the commercials they'll do different things, and they do like what's the best sign and things like that. I think that the reason why signs aren't as big as it is now because there aren't enough larger than life characters that people are writing signs for. You know what I mean? Like you'll get your Bianca Belair, like for instance, John Cena is, huge character, one of the greatest of all time, according to a lot of people. But there was a lot of Cena signs because people knew that Cena was coming, and so there was a lot of Cena signs. But just a normal Raw episode, like people don't really care about Raw so much that they're looking like, who do I really write a sign for? I think maybe, I've been watching wrestling. I've been going to live events for 25 years. And I probably wrote maybe 1 or 2 signs ever. I forgot who they were for.
But Chris, think about it. You're writing signs for 2 reasons. Mm-hmm. Either somebody is way over, or you really hate somebody.
Correct.
Those are the 2 reasons you're writing signs. Yep. Austin, The Rock, DX. Either they're way over or they've got way heat.
Yeah.
And like you said, man, when you look at today's roster and the way it's booked, who's way over and who's got way heat?
I'm here for Tozawa.
Yeah, I mean,
Before I'm writing signs for that. Yeah. Next, we have the Mysterios backstage interrupted by Bella and Priest. Now, this was intriguing, Vince, to me, because I told you before, remember we did the writing with Russo, and I said I picked Dominic to be a member of Judgment Day. So I was like, I picked Dominic weeks ago, a couple months ago. I said Dominic would be someone who I would be intrigued to be a member of Judgment Day. I still think Judgment Day is becoming a flop, but I would be interested because I picked Balor, and Balor's in there, and I picked Dominic, and we'll see. I think I would be much more intrigued to see Dominic in there than what he's doing right now.
Well, I would too, Chris. However, this is going to take some acting chops, bro.
True.
He's going to have to be able to pull this off, and he's never been in a situation where he really had to, do any kind of acting before. So
he did okay with the Seth thing. He did okay with the Brock thing too. He played more like an underdog. He was a lot smaller. He's chunked up a bit, but he played more of an underdog character. So his size at that point, getting some meat, on you is okay. And a lot of times I kept saying that I think that T-Bar should have, get bulked up or get some meat on him, and he has, and he looks a lot more intimidating. I think Dominic getting a little bit more meat on him is cool. I don't have an issue with that. But at that time he played more of an underdog character because he was a lot smaller. So that helped. The Seth Rollins thing in the beginning helped, but they kept doing it over and over and over and over and over again.
Are you talking about the Buddy Murphy thing?
No. When he, like in the beginning when it was the Seth thing. And I think they led to like a SummerSlam match, if I'm not mistaken. And then they did the Buddy Murphy thing afterwards, and then with the Aaliyah thing.
And he was like a supporting actor.
Correct.
This one, if they do what you suggest, he's going to be on a main stage.
He will. Yeah, he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm open to this. I'm open to this. I'm open to see where this goes. Because again, I just don't it, him being with his dad, I'm sure that theoretically, behind the scenes, he's cool with that. But I imagine, for him to be his age, he's like, man, I want to break away in some way. I
Yeah.
don't want to be under the shadow of my dad, me for this long. It's about that time to move on
Yeah.
somehow. So I'm cool with it. I'm open to it. I'm open to it. Next we have the Miz in ring interview interrupted by AJ Styles. Then this leads to AJ defeating the Miz by countout. Are they really going to do AJ versus the Miz now, man?
Bro, I don't know. I mean, both of these guys just mean absolutely nothing. Like absolutely nothing.
Why are they doing this? I mean, AJ's your guy, Vince. I mean, you work with AJ for quite some time. Knowing the amazing ability that AJ Styles has, if he retired today, he'd be in the Hall of Fame, within a few years, if that. I mean, he can run circles, he can make anybody look good. Taker handpicked him, for him. He had his last match against Taker had his last match against AJ Styles. The guy is amazing. Why in the world would they choose to do this to AJ Styles when they could have really catapulted him to legendary status, and now he feels just like everybody else?
Chris, I got to tell you, man, that there are two ways that your road can divide. And I'll tell you the way my road divided, but I think a lot of other people that road divides the other way. Bro, later on in my career, especially with TNA, when Dixie kept hiring everybody because she couldn't make decisions on her own.
Yep.
So when Bischoff was brought in and Pritchard was brought in, she just kept bringing in layers on top of layers on top of layers.
Mhm.
Okay. So I found myself in a position, Chris, where, based on my success and based on everything I've done, I was spending so much of my time trying to convince people of what we needed to do. Okay. Now that can go one of two ways. Okay. Either I fall in line and I continue to get my paycheck and, I go along with whatever they want to do, or either I say, I'm tired of this, bro. I'm not going to waste my time trying to convince you what needs to be done when I know it could be done. And you know what, Vince, if you don't like it, leave. And guess what? Vince left. I think you've got a lot of people. I think Miz and AJ are your two perfect examples, bro, where I think they've tapped out. I think they tapped out a long time ago. Bro, they get a nice paycheck, especially with Miz. He parlayed this into his own television show with his wife and his family. I guarantee you he's 100 more times into that than he is on this show. Yeah. So, he's going through the motions here, but what he really cares about is the television show. Yeah. When you look at a guy like AJ, bro, let's look at how many years he spent on the indies. Let's look at how many years he spent in TNA. He wasn't making the money that he's making now. So, having gone down that road and now being older, what's he going to do at this point, bro? Is he going to fight the system knowing that, what, man, if I could just suck this up for 2 or 3 more years? And I think that's where a lot of these people are, bro. I really do. And I can't say I blame them. Because it gets to the point, bro. You just get tired and you just tap out, and it's the old whatever.
Yeah. Sad to see because I can understand that from AJ's part, but just WWE just again protecting his brand, and he needs to protect his brand. But I get it; he's on his tail end. He's been wrestling for over 20 years, and so. It's one of those things that I can see that, but at the same time, I mean, WWE, I think for the times where, he's really done so much for the company, and again, making the Undertaker look like $1 million on his last match, I think he just deserves more than that, honestly.
Yeah, see, bro, I got to tell you, with a company like the WWE, that doesn't matter. Chris, listen, I'm a big baseball guy, and this whole weekend surrounded around Freddie Freeman, who played for the Braves for 15 years, won a World Series with them, Mr. Atlanta. And when it came down to business, they didn't offer him a contract when his contract was up because they found someone to replace him. This is the same mentality, bro. They've got that system. They're creating wrestlers, bro. And guess what, bro? We'll get somebody in here that'll be half the price of an AJ Styles. Yeah. They're not looking at, bro, like Taker is a special case, the relationship he had with Vince. And bro, outside of that, man, what it really comes down to is every wrestler is replaceable. And guess what, bro? The one waiting in line will do it for half the amount of money that we're paying this one. There's no, bro, there is no emotional attachment at all, man.
No.
There isn't. Like I said, bro, Vincent Taker, name another one. We saw what happened with Vincent Savage. We saw what happened with Vincent Brett. Him and Taker had that relationship. Outside of that, bro, people come and go.
Yeah. I think Cena is the only, Cena is another one that has some, pull as far as just staying power. But yeah, Brock left, Goldberg left, just about anybody's expendable, in the WWE. So next we have backstage, John Cena and Ezekiel. Cena turns around to a altercation with Theory. So there's your altercation, Vince. They've been teasing it for SummerSlam. Do we get it at SummerSlam?
Bro, I don't know, bro. With what they've done, I don't know how you're going to convince anybody this guy's in the same. Forget arena as John Cena. I'm talking about same planet. As I don't, bro. I don't know. Maybe they have something planned that I can't comprehend. But my gosh, bro, come on, man, come on.
To me, like when I believe that wins losses matter, but like when it comes to, the proof is that everybody's booked 50-50 and nobody's standing out. But with Theory, though, like to be in a feud with Lashley, and Lashley's getting the upper hand mostly, and then even if he beats Lashley, Lashley has not been booked to the moon enough for him to really get a rub, from Lashley, unfortunately.
But Chris, it's not only that. Chris, it's funny because I'm just going to go back today to I watched the Attitude Era show today. Okay, bro, the first match I saw was The Rock against Vader. Bro, Vader's punches look like he was rocking.
The side shoot.
Yeah, yes. Bro, I'm watching tonight's show. When Theory came in for the heat, the very first thing he does, and bro, the very first thing he does, and I'm like, bro, will you freaking hit him? Will you hit him? Bro, Bobby Lashley weighs 300 pounds, muscle on top of muscle. Will you freaking hit him? But bro, immediately, anybody can go back and see. Bro, people see that at home. And trust me, bro, there are people seeing that at home saying, he's going to beat John Cena? In what world is he going to beat John Cena?
My thing is he's going to beat Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley is much more from a shoot style. Bobby Lashley is more intimidating than Cena is, and he's going to beat Bobby Lashley with those punches, and then John Cena with those punches. And then even if he beats Bobby Lashley, on Saturday, and then John Cena just a few weeks later, 4 weeks later, if he beats both of them, I still don't think that the WWE has enough investment in characters, not just theory, in developing characters enough to make him have that upper, like, to really give him the rub that they really want.
Bro, you know what's a freaking joke? Bobby Roode is 100 times more believable than Austin Theory. 100 times more believable, but yet Austin Theory's in this spot. And I'm like, my gosh, bro, like how do you pass that up? No. I'm a guy that worked with a Bobby Roode. Now, if Bobby Roode's a heel and he's wrestling Cena, it's very Rick Rude-ish. Yeah. I could buy that 1,000 more times than I could beat Austin. I could buy Austin Theory beating John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah.
And bro, let me tell you something. Bro, here's the bottom line. If Cena puts him over, he's an imbecile. I don't want to hear you're a company guy and I'm doing the right thing. Bro, you will hurt your brand so badly, literally putting a mid-card guy over. Yeah. He's not a freaking star. So, like, that's why I can't imagine Cena putting this guy over. And if he doesn't put him over, then what?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's going to be a difficult situation to get out of because, like I said, even if he beat both of them, I don't have enough confidence in WWE to think that this is going to send Theory to the next level of main event stardom if he beats Bobby Lashley and John Cena.
And bro, where did it start? It started with him being a 76-year-old man's whipping boy.
Yeah.
And then you wonder why we feel the way he did. Meanwhile, if he would have stood up to McMahon, if he would have said, no, old man, I call the shots around here, but whatever. But no, bro, he was taking it, Vince's little. So that's who he is, bro. Yeah. You created that. We didn't make that up.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because
there you go.
That is. And he Mumbles McMahon. He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Mumbles is back for a he told the Black Scorpion to take the night off.
Throw that gimmick up again. I want to point something else out.
Yes, indeed. Yes,
here's another thing. Look at this guy. And bro, what is he, an elf? Well, what the freak is what is elf that, ears. Bro? You look like a Keebler elf. What is that, man? I don't understand. What is that? Oh, bro. Please.
Mumble, the return of Mumbles. I think one of our viewers, Steve, actually requested me. He had a birthday this weekend. He requested me to do Mumbles. So there you go. There's your Mumbles back. We got Bianca Belair cutting an interview interrupted by Carmella. I'm a Bianca Belair fan, but man, I mean, like, it's sad that they're turning a fan further away from the character than further to the character. That's when it gets really, really sad. Like, it just feels so much of the same when it comes to Bianca Belair nowadays.
Chris, I'm going to add something to that. I don't know how many times I've said this before. I've seen the real Bianca Belair, and I saw somebody very real and so very powerful.
Yep.
I see the character Bianca Belair that is not the real person I saw, and it's it's the promo. But here's what I did not understand tonight. Did you see her gear? Did you see her outfit?
Yeah, the dollar signs. Yeah,
Bro, that's a heel. Ted DiBiase wears that. A heel wears that. You're not shoving in the face of the fans, if you're a baby face, $100 bills all over your body. Like, look at all the money I have that you don't. That's not a baby face, bro. A baby face should never wear something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't understand some of the decisions, man. I don't get it.
I agree. Yeah, it's people are saying Turner heel. I don't agree. I mean, she had a heel run before in NXT, and it fell flat to me. It just didn't work. She had too much charisma, and just to be a heel. And I think she had too much like infectious charisma. I don't like heels who get cheered. I despise that. And I think with Bianca, they just need to they just need to really spend time with understanding or interviewer. You know what I mean? Like I know Paul Heyman, you used to do this. Paul Heyman said he used to do it too. Like just interview or just go get some dinner with this person, find out their interests, find out their likes, find out their dislikes, find out their history, and then revolve your character
Yes, who are
around
you?
that.
Who
Yeah.
are you? Who
Yep.
are you? That's the job of the writer, bro. Who are you?
Yep. Exactly. Liv Morgan and Alexa Bliss cuts a backstage. Speaking of who are you? A watch me person who I don't even know what Liv Morgan's gimmick is.
I don't know what either of their gimmicks are.
And then versus someone with a doll. Like, did you interview Alexa Bliss? Did you go have a steak dinner with her and say, "Hey, what do you like? What are your interests? What do you like? What really lights you up?" Dolls. Like I don't think you're going to get that from Alexa Bliss's having dinner with her.
Bro, meanwhile, what did I see? And it came across my freaking timeline. What's viral on the internet this week? Her husband just did a concert over the weekend. Alexa Bliss comes on stage and starts rapping on the mic.
Yeah, intoxicated.
Yes. Okay. well. Okay. And then. Well, where's the doll?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Why can't she be married to a rock star that is almost like a groupie? I mean, my God, bro, we're seeing it on YouTube, but we go from that to I'm walking around with a doll because we got 1 million of them in the warehouse and we got to sell.
Yeah. Exactly. Next, we have Liv Morgan defeating Alexa Bliss. Does this do anything for the momentum of Liv Morgan heading into Money in the
Bank?
No. Vince McMahon introduces John Cena.
I got to go back and watch that. I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, he cuts a promo. Vince. I mean, so you had interesting enough, you had some names who are current AEW stars.
Yeah, I saw that.
Big Show,
Brian
Danielson, Chris Jericho. You know what I mean? So had a lot of people giving them a shout out. I'm wondering if how do you think that came about, Vince? Do you think that Vince just gave him a call and said, can you do this? And do you think it had to get Tony Khan clearance, or all of them were just like, I don't care about getting Tony Khan clearance? How did that work backstage as far as?
I bet you they had to get permission from Khan, and Khan gave the permission because he's such a freaking mark.
Yeah.
I mean, bro, come on. The pictures people were sending me this morning
with hugs, man.
With these hugs, bro. Somebody's got to smarten me up. Somebody's got to smarten me up. I mean, my God, bro, he's hugging Cesaro like he's a little child meeting a wrestler for the first time, like hugging his leg, bro.
Squeeze side hug to Okada.
Somebody's got to smarten me up. I don't know what's going on here, bro. We're supposed to be professionals. I don't get it.
I put a status on my socials. I said I put the two pictures together and I said, listen, my birthday is Saturday. If I see you and don't give you a creepy Tony Khan hug like this, chances are I don't love you. Yeah. So that was my
and then, bro, here's the part. Like I just can't believe people are this ignorant and this clueless. So the people are sending me the pictures all morning. So of course I got a comment. So my comment was as simple as like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, what is going on here? Like, honestly, somebody explain to me, what are we doing here? Oh, well, Vince, you're just bitter because Tony Khan didn't hire you. No, bro, he's hugging grown men like he's a 5-year-old child. How can you? But will you stop it? Will you stop it, bro? He's hugging grown ass men like it's a child hugging his dad when he comes home from work. Oh, well, you're because he won't give you a job. Oh my God, bro! Please,
they were so they were so uncomfortable. You could tell by both of them. Like Cesaro was like, and Okada was like, ooh, like
what is that? You're the psychologist, bro. Did his dad never hug him? Is that what this is all about?
It could be a Shad thing. Tony Khan, I would love to just do a psych assessment with this guy. I would love to. Like he's very odd. Like he's just an odd soul, man. He really is. He's just an odd soul. Like just the way his mannerisms and just like he's just a little jittery. You know what I mean? Like it's just. I would love to really assess this dude. I really would. Awesome sauce with a $2 super chat, bro.
Oh my God. What would happen if I hugged Taker like that? Like, my God, bro. Like,
you got choke slam, Vince. You would have got choke slam. Yeah. So John Cena's segment. I mean, what do you think about Cena's segment here, cutting the promo?
Bro, it's just, bro, it's so pandering, but the people are like buying into the pandering. Like if I'm in that audience, like, bro, listen, I love Cena. I think Cena is a pro's pro, but once the pandering starts, I'm in the, okay, I get it mode. You know what I'm saying? But they're into it. Like when he mentions the town and I'm like, bro, there's a lot of things about wrestling I don't understand. There's a lot of things I don't get. Like you still get a pop putting the town over. Like what like what is that?
Yeah,
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
Yes, indeed. Next, we have Lashley defeating the Alpha Academy. Then he gets attacked by Theory post match. He gets an upper hand, but Theory, those punches of doom, ladies and gentlemen, the punches of doom. Get a Cody Rhodes exclusive interview. He confirms that he's told 9 months for recovery. So looks like he'll be back around Mania time next year. So. It looks like they'll be setting up maybe the week before Mania.
I'm just wondering, bro. Like, see, if it were me, I would definitely find a way to keep him alive without wrestling. You could tell a story. You could have him on there every week. I mean, you could put him in a certain role, whatever. Like my question is, so what? We're not going to see him for another 9 months. There's a way to keep him in the mix, bro.
Did you remember the Triple H 2002 when he got injured in 01? And then
I wasn't watching back then.
So, and he got injured in 01. He tore his quad during a match. I think it was him and Austin when they were a 2-man power trip. They were going against I think Jericho and Benoit in a tag match, and he tore his quad when he stepped into I think a punch or something like that. Tore it right off the leg. And so he ended up wrestling for the rest of the match. And basically he had, all that like 6 months, 7 months to recover. And a lot of those times throughout the 7 months, they would play. He was a heel at the time. He ended up turning babyface because he was, they were playing videos and giving updates of his recovery and his training, and things like that. So they were really prepping him up to be, just kind of pulling on the sympathy.
How long did that go on for, Chris? How long?
It's about 7 months. I mean,
maybe that's what they plan on doing. I hope so.
Yeah. So he came back January, I believe, of 02, ended up winning the Royal Rumble a few weeks later. So
maybe they'll do that, bro. But that's what they should do.
Yeah. Next we have the backstage John Cena and Seth Rollins. Was he putting Rollins? I mean, what was the point of this segment here? I mean, Rollins ended up looking at Omos and an MVP. I mean, was this the hype up Money in the Bank?
Well, yeah, bro. I think because there was something backstage. Oh, the Mysterio thing was just to set up a match next week. It's probably just to set something up for next week, bro.
Rollins versus Omos.
Who knows, bro? Who knows? Who else is Rollins going to face? Who does Rollins face next?
Oh, who's the baby face out there that is on Raw? Wow.
Yeah.
Because Lashley's with Theory. Wow. Mysterio looks like he's breaking off and, going to be feuding with the Sun, perhaps. SK Nation, who Riddle. Oh, yeah, Riddle. Him and Riddle were supposed to be competing at SummerSlam. That's what it is.
Oh, him and Riddle?
Yeah. They had a segment last week. It's going to be Lashley and Riddle at SummerSlam. So Lynch wins the last chance match of Money in the Bank. Does a manhandle slam on Doudrop. This was an elimination match.
This was so sloppy, bro.
Yeah, it was.
This was just so sloppy. And this is the main event, bro.
Yeah.
This is the main event.
Yeah. And they made Becky Lynch look like the babyface here. I didn't really understand that. Like, she looked like the valiant person who was coming from behind, who was the resilient, the one who persevered. Like, it was a babyface setup, and she's a heel. I don't get why they do stuff like that. Like, they don't pay attention to that, Vince.
Bro, Chris, I can't tell you how many times, when I worked for the WWE before anybody knew who I was, I would, especially for the main event, a lot of times by the time the main event came around, I was done working for the night. And I would watch the main event from the house. And bro, I can't tell you how many times, like when I'm in the house with the people watching the main event, and so many times it was Austin, and just remembering like just how good it was. And bro, I was part of it. And I always remember, going to the back, and whether it was Austin or whether it was Taker, sincerely putting the match over, like, man, bro, you tore it down out there. And I really, really meant it. And then I watch this and I'm like, this is the main event, bro, main event.
Yeah.
Look up the meaning of main event. And it was so horribly bad and sloppy. And this is the main event. This is the best you've got.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. This
tough,
is
man. It's just I'm just being honest, man.
This is WWE, ladies and gentlemen. But what is the main event every single week is this guy's shows on what show, on what
channelattitude.com, guys. Check it out. We got not just one, not two, not three, bro. We got 12, 15 shows on there with different people: Stevie Ray, Stevie Richards, Al Snow, EC3, Taylor Hendricks. I mean, you name it, guys. There's something for everybody. Very, very reasonable, man. Just go to channelattitude.com.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for more birthday shout outs. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it, everybody. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this guy is oh, my headphone went out. Hold on a second. It's coming. There we go.
There's movement in the arm. Look,
it's moving.
There's movement.
Very nice. This guy is Vince Russo. I'm Dr. Chris on behalf of Toots Mont, on behalf of the Black Scorpion. This is the Legion of Raw. ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, everybody, so long.